Hey guys, I'm Becky and welcome back to another vlog. Today it is January 1st of 2022. Very exciting. Whole new year, fresh clean slate for books. I'm very excited about this time. Something else that always ends up happening at this time is I put a lot of stock into what my first read of the year is going to be and stuff like that. I don't know why, but it just like always holds a big meaning to me or impact. So when I decided to pick up a book this morning after the ball dropped, it took a while to figure it out. But then I decided to go with a book that I have just recently received. And holy crap, I stayed up until 7:30 this morning reading. I know. Birds were out, sun was up, and I went to bed. I am almost 60% of the way through it, and I am loving it. I'm loving it so much. So let me grab my phone. Let's find a cozy spot. I'm in my office. I was doing a little bit of cleaning. Oh, this light is terrible. Much better. I will just throw up a little photo right here next to me. It's Love to Hate You by Jennifer Susevec, I believe is how you pronounce her last name. So what ended up happening, let me figure out who it even was. So on TikTok, actually on Instagram, somebody shared a TikTok by, the name is author Elise Kelly, and I will put that down below in the description. She posted about, on her TikTok, that she was doing a Stuff Your E-Reader event, which I of course missed. Of course I missed it. But it was on December 30th. It was 600 books for free by a whole bunch of different authors. And I wanted to do it and remembered at like 3 a.m. on the 31st. So that's annoying. But on her TikTok profile, she does have a link tree, and in there she does have a link to books that are available for free from her and other romance authors. And so I grabbed 4 books, and this is one of them. So definitely be sure to go and check this out and grab some books for yourself. The books are all free. In order to get them for free, you do have to be willing to subscribe to the author's newsletter. It'll automatically do it for you, but it like tells you like, yes, I agree to sign up for this newsletter. You can subscribe at any time. So as soon as you get like the welcome email, you can unsubscribe right away as soon as you get your book. But that is something to consider. I know some people don't like jumping through hoops for things. And then you get to decide, do you want it in a Kindle format, or I don't remember the other formats, but you have a list to choose of like how to get your book. So this was one of those books and I am loving it. So it's about a girl who is a senior in college. She is living with her cousin and his best friend in off-campus apartments. And her cousin and his best friend are both football players. The best friend is going to be drafted for the NFL, and they have always hated each other. Like, she has always been attracted to him, but like ever since she met him, he has been such a jerk to her. And she doesn't know why she agreed to move in with them, but she did, and now it's too late, and all of these hijinks ensue. So like he starts cock blocking her, like she comes home with a date one night and he purposely stays home and just like is sitting in the living room in his underpants and just like, hey, what's up? And he's like, you live with this guy? And this guy like freaks out, which I don't understand why somebody would be so threatened by someone who lives with a man. If I'm telling you that I'm not with them or sleeping with them, what does it matter? But anyways, so that date runs off, so she pays him back by the next time he brings someone home pretending to be his baby mama, and chaos ensues. So it's definitely like an extreme, like, enemies to lovers. I've just gotten to the kind of lovers part. They're not like, they're lovers in a, in the sheets sense, but they haven't like opened up to each other. And I'm just loving it. I am loving this. This is exactly what I was in the mood for. I'm like, I want something that I'm going to be obsessed with, that I love these characters. It's dual POV, which you know it is my favorite. So yeah, this book like checks all the freaking boxes and I'm obsessed. Now what is interesting is that when I went to add it to my story graph, which by the way I am still 1000% on Goodreads, it's my favorite. I'm not going to switch over to Storygraph permanently, but I do like the stats that Storygraph gives you. So I'm just going to mark off the books I've read on Storygraph. I'm not going to use it to like get recommendations or build a TBR or anything. I'm just posting what I've read so I can have the year-end stats. Because I have hope that eventually Goodreads will add half stars, and that's pretty much the only thing that Storygraph has going for it. Also, other than the fact that, you know, it's not owned by Jeffrey Bezos, but we can't get around Jeffrey Bezos, so we might as well just embrace him. That's a joke. I went to add this book to my Storygraph, as currently reading, and I accidentally clicked a different book by this author, which is called, this is called Love to Hate You. The other book is called Hate to Love You. And it also sounds amazing, so I'm just like, oh my god, yes. I'm gonna read all the books that this author has written because these sound fantastic. And I'm hoping that the other 3 books I grabbed are also just as great. Let me just share with you the other books that I grabbed. Might as well. So the other ones that I grabbed are False Start by Stella Marie Alden. This is another sports romance, if I'm not mistaken. Then I grabbed Her Mountain Prince by Valerie Wilde. This one, it intrigues me, but at the same time I have like literally no idea what it's about. The description is like very vague. So it says, warning, this book is filled with tons of smutty goodness, a growly alpha prince, insta everything, and a lovely happily ever after. Enjoy. So, okay. The only thing is like there's a prince, so I don't know if it's paranormal. I don't know. And then the last one that I grabbed that I'm like, I've never read one of these before. This sounds crazy. It's only like 76 pages, and it's called Wounded Omega by LIZZY BEQUIN, or BEQUIN. It is a reverse harem, and I've never read a reverse harem. It is, I'm pretty positive, a paranormal reverse harem, and yeah, like in the description it says, they will claim me, they will dominate me, they will share my body in the most sinful ways imaginable. Like, can you see me blushing? But we're gonna try it. Like, I'm following all these people who read reverse harems on the regular, and I've heard that's very hard to find one that's like actually done well. So I know I'm in for a treat, you know? So yeah, those are the books that I grabbed. As far as what I'm gonna pick up next, I don't know. So this vlog is going to last a week, we'll say. And as for what I'm gonna pick up in it, I'm really not sure. I don't know. I do have a TBR. I have a couple books that like I have to get to. And by a couple, I think that there's just like one that I have to get to, and that's because it's for book club. So I think we're just gonna have like a very like mood, hopefully lots of romance vlog. And yeah, I'm just having a really great time. I wonder if I'm gonna end up reading like all 4 of these new books in this vlog. That would be fun. It's a possibility. But also, am I just gonna go on a giant streak of this author's books? Maybe. We'll find out. Hey guys, so as you can tell, driving to work. It's been a couple days since I've checked in with you, and I wanted to check in before I left for work, but I'm running a little behind, so we're just gonna do it in the car. I did finish Hate to Love You, and it was really, really good. I ended up giving it 4 out of 5 stars, and it's because, like, okay, so I really enjoyed the majority of it. However, it of course has that 3rd act breakup, you know, which I come to expect them. Don't love them, but I come to expect them. However, this one was like really, really dumb and also resolved very quickly. I mean, it was, but it wasn't dumb. Like, I kind of understand, but at the same time, it was like, why make it such a big deal to then quickly get back together? You know? I mean, maybe you don't know because you haven't read it, but yeah, so that just kind of sucked because it happened like literally within the last probably 30 pages of the book. So I did end up giving it 4 out of 5 stars. Then I picked up Yesterday at Work, which, oh, by the way, hi, hello, it is Tuesday. Yesterday at Work, I picked up My Friend Dahmer, and I can't think of what the author's name, but if you've never heard of it, it is a graphic novel by a classmate of Jeffrey Dahmer's, and he kind of like tells the story of the Jeffrey that he knew. I've seen some Goodreads that said that they felt like this book tried to make you feel sympathetic for Dahmer, and I get that if I wouldn't have read the author's note, because in the author's note it says that like he feels pity for Jeffrey Dahmer because all of his crimes may have been prevented, if the adults in his life gave a shit. But he says that as soon as Jeffrey took his first life, like, that's where his sympathy goes out the window. And so he kind of, like, wrote this book just to show, like, there were subtle warning signs, but nothing, like, extreme enough where, like, he felt he needed to go to somebody, and that he's also experienced people, like, asking him and other people that he's went to high school with, like, why didn't you guys say anything? And it's like, we're kids. Like, that was totally valid of, like, why didn't any of the teachers say something? Why didn't, you know, anyone just pay attention to him, you know? Because according to Jeffrey, like, basically, according to Jeffrey Dahmer as well, if people would have paid attention to him, he may not have done the things he did. Like, he needed help. He had these voices in his head, these dark thoughts, and he tried to repress it as much as he could, but was also left to his own devices at the same time. So it was interesting. I think I ended up giving it 3 out of 5 stars, if I'm not mistaken. Like, it was interesting. I finished it, but when I finished it, I was feeling very, like, I don't know what to rate this book. So I feel like a 3 star is very suitable for the book. So now we're on to the part of why I wanted to film this clip so desperately. I started another book that I got for free on my Kindle that I was telling you guys about. So this one is False Start by, I think it's Sarah Marie Alden. I don't even know where to begin with that book. So I ended up DNFing it. It's probably, honestly, less than 100 pages, but it didn't have page numbers, and it's not on Amazon or anything, so I couldn't look up a page count. Even Goodreads doesn't have a page count. So I had to just, like, physically swipe the pages and count, and it was like 109 pages, which my font is bigger, so I'm sure it's like 50 pages long. But we just went with 100. I read 60 of them, and then DNF'd the book. Like, I could not go on anymore. It honestly was written so badly. The characters were all awful. Like, I didn't like any, like, even our 2 main characters, our main love interests, and we're getting dual POV. Like, I did not like them. The men were gross, including our main character, and it was just really, really badly written. Like, it honestly felt like I broke into the author's house, found her desk, and picked up, like, a rough draft outline of the book where it's just, like, bullet points of what she wants to happen. Because honestly, if this book was written in bullet points, I probably would have liked it more than how, like, half written it was. Like, I almost feel like I got the wrong version of it because it's just so bad, and it gives you, like, whiplash, because one second you'll be in a scene and then all of a sudden you're back in the dorm or at a party and you're like, how did we even get here? Like, are pages missing? Conversations that happened off page will take an effect. It was weird, and I could not read anymore. And I was like, you know, this book is bad when it's 100 pages and I can't finish it. So what was funny though is that on Goodreads, when you click buy this book on Amazon, it takes you to another book on Amazon with the same name but by a different author, and that author is Sasha Marshall, and that book sounded good. And it's a full-length book. It's like 300 and some pages. So I was like, you know what? That one kind of sounded good, and it's on Kindle Unlimited, so let me go ahead and grab that one. It's basically the same, almost the same premise. It's a college football romance, like, very similar. Okay, now I'm parked and about to go into work, but so I was like, you know what, just for shits and gigs, let me go ahead and try this one. So it's about a guy and girl who met in college, football romance. Her father is a huge football legend, so she is like football royalty, and she has always said that she's never going to date a football player because her dad passed away because of injuries that he sustained while playing football for so many years, and she doesn't want to go through that again. But unfortunately she meets Bryant, and they, like, instantly have chemistry, instantly have a connection. However, for some reason he ends up cheating on her. She catches him cheating on her. And so it goes back and forth between back then when they met and now that they are divorced 10 years later, and him trying to get her back. And you guys, I am so in love with this book. Like, it's written so freaking well. I am absolutely in love with the characters. I love, love, love the voice of our main character, and I had to highlight a couple lines already because it has the best stuff. So while there is an instant attraction with them, and even though over the years, every time they see each other, they end up sleeping together, she is still heartbroken over him cheating on her and won't get back with him. And so he has come to her hometown, has joined the football team that she works for, and is trying to get her back. And her godfather, her best friend, her sister, they are all like having doe eyes over him, even though they know how badly he hurt her and were there for her to get her through the breakup. But now that he's back, they're like, you guys are gonna get back together. Oh my God, so excited. And at one point, like, she asks to her sister not to come over and she just wants to be alone. And she's like, because I literally cannot with these people. Like, I know he's a great guy. He is a great guy. However, I'm heartbroken and I'm not over it. And this has been a really tough day for me. Like, I love that there is this instant attraction. There is this very obviousness of like, they're going to get back together. But it's like, she still has a lot of stuff she needs to get through. And the fact that she is holding on to that and being like, no, we're not going to fall back in love with him. I am hurt. And that's what matters. Like, instead of her just being like, I'll just go with the flow, like her being like, no. I love that. I love it. But all right, I need to get in work. I'm going to hopefully read some more of it while at work because it is amazing. Like, I literally cannot wait to pick this book back up. So talk to you tonight. Goodbye. Hey guys, so it is Wednesday morning and I wanted to update you really quickly. Ignore my background. My house is very dirty right now. I really need to clean it. But I wanted to update you because last night I did finish False Start by Sasha Marshall. It's getting 5 out of 5 stars. As of right now, this is one of my new all-time favorite romances. This was so good. It was so heartfelt. I cried multiple times, including a couple times at work. So that was fun, but it definitely deals with, I don't want to say darker topics, but just like very heart-aching topics. It talks about being completely obsessively in love with somebody and them hurting you and betraying your trust. And also it deals with losing a grandparent who has, I think, either Alzheimer's or dementia. So just know that going in, but it was beautiful. It was amazing. I loved it so much. And it is going to be part of a series, which I'm very excited about because I'm pretty positive that book 2 is going to be about the sister and Ben, which I cannot wait. That has not been confirmed. I haven't really looked into it. I know that it hasn't already come out, but I haven't looked as far as like on the author's website or anything, but that's my guess. And I literally cannot wait. So please pick up this book. It's so good. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. Do it. But today I'm going to be starting a new book, and I think I'm going to start Cinderella is Dead. I cannot remember the author's name, but it's been on my TBR for a long time, and I'm finally going to pick it up and read it. So I'm going to start it today at work via ebook, and if I'm not really feeling that, then I'm going to pick up the audio, and if I'm still not feeling it, then we know what that means. But I'm going to try it. Hey guys, so it is Friday. Yesterday, actually was it yesterday or I think it was Wednesday when I last updated you. I did start Cinderella is Dead. I am, I think like 65% of the way through it and I'm really liking it. It's very interesting. I really like our main character and the love interest. So this is a female romance. And I'm just really liking it because I feel like in the past, all of the female romances that I've read, both of them are very feminine, and I almost feel like it's from like a straight relationship gaze almost, if that makes sense. Whereas this one feels just very different, and our love interest is like very straightforward, kind of flirty, kind of has like bad boy vibes, but a female, and I'm really liking it. So I did want to update you because I'm hoping to finish it tonight and then start my next read. So I wanted to update you before I finish it because I didn't want to be like, hi, I started it and also I finished it. So here we are. But right now I'm going to probably play on my phone and finish it. I do need to do some editing. I'm just now remembering, but we'll do that later. We'll do it later. Good afternoon, folks. It is Saturday. Ignore whatever's going on with my hair. I've woken up. I've put in a load of laundry. I've done a little bit of reading already, but we're about to do a whole lot more. Last night I did finish Cinderella is Dead. It is by Kaylin Bayron. I'm giving this book 4 out of 5 stars. So I really liked it. However, I think the thing that I liked the most is what I mentioned last night, which is the romance. I really, really liked it. I still feel like if that romance wasn't in there, especially if it wasn't a female-female romance, if it was a straight romance, I probably would have given the book 3 out of 5 stars. But I really enjoyed the romance. I really enjoyed the chemistry. I really liked the main characters' personalities. So it did bump it up to a 4. Now, to bump it up to a 5, number one, I mean, it's about Cinderella. I've never been a big fan of Cinderella. So already that kind of, you know, knocked it down probably to like a 4.75. But what really made the biggest impact of not making it a 5-star, even though I really enjoyed it, is that I just felt like a lot more character development could have happened. Like, I really feel like this book should have been a bit longer and we should have got to know these characters a lot more. Like, I don't feel like I fully know these characters. I don't feel like our main characters will be together forever at the end, you know, and maybe that's the point, to not make it feel like they lived happily ever after. I don't know, but like, I would need to see them in later books to know that they're still together or that they're separated or whatever, you know? So, really good. I would recommend it. I'm definitely going to read more by this author. I know that she has, I think it's Poison Heart, which is, I think, Snow White's story. I will be checking that out. So, for sure, going to check out more by this author. So then, I did start another book last night. Let me figure out who the author is, because I feel like I have never looked at the author of this book. So it's The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle L. Jensen. This is a Kindle Unlimited book. It is very, very well known, I feel. I feel like if you haven't heard of this book, I would be surprised, because it's everywhere. But I decided to start it. I'm really, really liking this book, like, a lot. Like, I am already predicting this is going to be a 5-star book. Like, this is so freaking good. It's so good. It's so ridiculously good. It's giving me The Shadows Between Us, but adult vibes. And we all know how I felt about The Shadows Between Us. That was very close to being my all-time favorite book of last year. But it was definitely my favorite YA of 2021. So the fact that this is giving me the same vibes but adults, I'm so here for it. What is this book about? There are these 2 kingdoms that are not necessarily warring at this point. They have had many wars between them. And 15 years ago, there was like this peace treaty made that said, let me see if the description tells me the names. I can't think of how to say the other kingdom. Okay, it doesn't say. So we'll just say there's a kingdom that the princess Lara, who is our main character, comes from. And then there's the Bridge Kingdom. Lara's kingdom agreed to give one of their princesses to the Bridge Kingdom for the crowned prince to marry once they were of age. And that this would hopefully cause a peace treaty and some trading treaties and things like that, because the kingdom that our princess comes from is very poor. Like, their people are starving, so they really need this peace treaty to happen. Now, the thing is, the king ended up having, I think it was 20 is what they said. It was 20 daughters by, I'm pretty positive, 20 different women, 20 different wives. And he took all of them to this place in the middle of the desert and trained them to be basically assassins, so that they could hopefully, one of them is going to get chosen to be the new queen of the Bridge Kingdom and hopefully take it down, destroy it. Well, the thing is that our princess Lara overhears the guards talking about how once the chosen one is picked, that everyone else in this compound will be murdered, because they can't let this get out that this is what happened and that this person is like a silent assassin. So she decides to take it into her own hands. So it's announced of like who it's going to be, and they have like one final dinner together, and like all her other sisters are like, oh, I'm sure father is going to marry us off to other lords of the land, and who do you think you're going to be married to? Like, they're so naive about it. So she decides to become the chosen one herself, is all I'm going to say, because I really don't want to ruin anything, because it's so epic. Now, this is a dual POV between her and the king. And what it's going to find out from the description is that she's going to end up finding out that not everything that she's been told about the Bridge Kingdom is true, and not everything that she's been told about her own kingdom is true. And so she has to figure out where her loyalties lie, which kingdom will be destroyed, which one will be saved, etc., etc. I know that it's only like, what is it, the 8th of January? Yeah, it's January 8th. It feels like January's been going on for a lot longer than 8 days, but pandemic brain. I have like wanted to read this book, yet at the same time, like, I really don't think I'm in the mood for a fantasy. Especially like a fantasy that I haven't already been into. You know, like I'm in the mood for like another Court of Thorns and Roses book. I'm in the mood for another Ice Planet Barbarians. Like anything that I've already been in, fine. Or contemporary. Nothing fantasy whatsoever. But I decided, like, okay, like, let's pick up Cinderella's Dead because I've been meaning to read this freaking book for a very, very long time. Let's finally do it. And then I was like, yeah, I'm in the fantasy mood, I guess. Let me pick up Bridge Kingdom. I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed with this book. It's so good. I'm only like, I think I'm less than 100 pages in. I think, when I woke up this morning, I was on page like 45. So I'm only like maybe to page 50 at this point. But it's amazing. It's so good. The chemistry, I mean, like there really isn't chemistry yet, but I can see it. I can see how this is going to be just like an epic enemies to lovers. I'm loving it so far. It's so badass. It's so good. I'm obsessed. I'm totally obsessed. My plan is to do a whole bunch of laundry today. I probably have at least 4 loads that I want to get done. And I'm going to read. And then eventually I'm going to pick up my house. When my husband gets home from work, we're going to clean this house because my God, is it a wreck. So yeah, I'm going to dive back into this book because I'm so freaking excited about it. Hey guys, so it is currently 2:30 in the morning. I'm coming to you from my dining room floor, in front of my kitchen at this weird angle with no glasses, because I wanted to update you really quickly. I am 60 pages away from finishing Bridge Kingdom. It's technically Monday morning. My plan was to wrap up this vlog technically yesterday, Sunday, but I got to 60 pages to the end of Bridge Kingdom and I needed to take a break from reading for a day because the book got extremely intense. I needed like a day to like mentally prepare myself. I still don't feel mentally prepared. I know I'm going to have to pick up book 2 like immediately, which is going to kind of derail my plans for the month. But it's really good. However, as you know, our main character, Lara, is pretty much a spy for her home country. I mean, I don't know how to talk about it without giving spoilers, but basically something has happened and like we got over that, everything's good, but then she did something before everything was good, and she thinks that she solved it before anyone would find out. However, they're about to find out, and probably the worst way possible. Like, I don't think that they're going to find out before something bad happens. I think they're going to find out when something bad happens, and I don't know what that's going to mean for our main characters. Book 2 is also available on Kindle Unlimited, so I will be picking that up. And then there is a book 3 that comes out in March or May, but I didn't read the description because I don't want to spoil it for anything. I don't read the description of the next book until I finish that actual book. But I'm assuming it's going to follow Anna, Princess Anna, or is it going to take place in the future? I think it's called The Something Heir, maybe. I could be mistaken. So it could be our main characters do stay together and have an heir, or is it about Princess Anna? I don't know. So yeah, I just wanted to update you because I'm 60 pages from the end, feeling very anxious, still not really prepared, but I really want to just finish the book and see what happens. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to go back upstairs, finish this book, and then we'll wrap up this vlog probably after I get off work on Monday. Hey guys, so it is Tuesday and it is time to wrap up this vlog. So the last book that I have finished is Bridge Kingdom by Daniel L. Jensen. This book was amazing. So I got 5 out of 5 stars. It was really, really good. I finished those last 60 pages like I told you the last time that I updated. It was very intense, but not as intense as I thought it was going to be. but I'm really happy with the way that it ended. It definitely ended on a cliffhanger, and I have immediately started book 2. I'm not super far into book 2. I just started it yesterday. I think I'm maybe like 50 pages into it. So I'm going to continue reading that and then hopefully going back to my original plans for this week. So I'm going to immediately start a new vlog because I feel like the books that I'm planning on reading this week are some really exciting ones that I'm really looking forward to. So stay tuned for that. I do think that overall, as a first books of January, as this vlog was, since it took place during the first week of January, it was really good. There were some not so great books, but also some really amazing books. I did kind of, for a minute after finishing Bridge Kingdom, think about, is this going to be my favorite book of the month? Because I did finish False Start and said that that was one of my new all-time favorite romances. But I think that that book still wins out so far. I do think that that one is my number 1. Bridge Kingdom is definitely number 2 for the month so far. But it's only the 11th, so we have many days ahead of us. We have 20, to be exact, that I could read some really amazing books. So we'll have to see how this month shapes out. But that is it for this vlog. Don't forget, if you enjoyed it, to please give it a thumbs up. Keep reading, stay safe, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!